Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidut Kathuria. Let's get started. The United States and Saudi Arabia have signed major agreements on civil nuclear energy and the sale of advanced US F-35 fighter jets during Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to Washington. The two countries ratified a joint declaration on civil nuclear energy, establishing the legal foundation for a decades-long multi-billion-dollar partnership with strict non-proliferation standards. President Donald Trump also approved a major defense sale package which includes future deliveries of F-35 warplanes, strengthening military ties between the two nations. US President Donald Trump has declared Saudi Arabia a major non-NATO ally, aiming to strengthen the military ties between the two countries. While symbolic, the designation offers benefits in defense, trade and security cooperation for foreign partners. Jamal Khashoggi's widow is demanding that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman issues a direct apology for the journalist's 2018 murder after the Crown Prince recently referred to the killing as a huge mistake. She says she is also deeply upset by US President Donald Trump's defense of the Crown Prince, arguing that such comments undermine accountability for Khashoggi's death. The Republican-controlled US House has voted overwhelmingly to release Justice Department files on the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The resolution passed 427 to 1 and now moves to the Senate. The vote comes just 2 days after President Trump reversed his long-standing opposition to releasing the records, which detail Epstein's connections to powerful figures. The Epstein case has been a political headache for Trump, whose past friendship with Epstein and promotion of conspiracy theories has undercut support among some Republicans. A recent poll found only 44% of Republicans approve of how he has handled the matter. Republican House Majority Leader Mike Johnson has accused Democrats of politicizing the release of Justice Department documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Johnson claims Democrats are attempting to use the vote to connect President Trump to the scandal.
That's what you called for. That's what Pam Bondi.
Donald Trump says he's considering a range of candidates to replace Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, including some unexpected names. During a meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Trump said he may go with the standard choice but hinted at alternative options. He also reiterated criticism of Powell for not cutting interest rates faster. Trump confirmed that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is not interested in the Fed chair role and said he'd like to see Powell replaced, but suggested others are holding him back. Powell's term ends in May. Javed Ahmad Siddiqui, chairman of Al-Falah Group, has been remanded to the Enforcement Directorate's custody for 13 days till 1st December by the court. This a day after his arrest in connection with a money laundering case. Siddiqui was taken into custody following a detailed investigation and evidence analysis after searches at Al-Falah Group premises. He is also the founder and managing trustee of Al-Falah University, which came under scrutiny after the busting of a white-collar terror module and the Red Fort blast on November 10th, which claimed 10 lives. Qatar has strongly condemned the explosion near a metro station in New Delhi, which left several people dead and injured. In a statement, Qatar's foreign ministry reaffirmed its rejection of all forms of violence, terrorism and criminal acts, regardless of motive. The ministry also extended condolences to the victims' families and the government and people of India, wishing a speedy recovery to the injured. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is determined to disarm Hamas in Gaza and complete the war on all fronts, following renewed violence in the occupied West Bank. On Tuesday, Palestinian attackers stabbed an Israeli to death and wounded 3 others before being shot by troops. The attack comes amid a surge in settler violence. Officials, including US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, warned the unrest could threaten Gaza's fragile truce. Hamas has rejected a US-backed plan for governing Gaza, even as the UN Security Council voiced support. Lebanon's health ministry says an Israeli strike on a Palestinian refugee camp near the southern city of Sidon has killed at least 13 people. State media reports the attack targeted a car in a mosque parking lot at the Al-Helway camp. Officials say the strike was carried out by an Israeli drone. Lebanon's state news agency said the strike targeted both a car and the Khalid bin Al-Walid mosque. Casualties and the full impact of the strike are still being assessed. Hamas denies Israeli claims that it operates military facilities in Palestinian refugee camps in Lebanon. The group called Israel's reported strike on the Ain al-Helway camp a brutal assault and labeled allegations of a Hamas training compound as lies. Hamas says the site hit was actually an open sports field where young boys were present at the time. Israel released video footage showing a building being struck, but Hamas insists there are no military installations in Lebanese camps. Ukraine says it will seek nearly $44 billion from Russia for environmental damage linked to the war. The claim is the first of its kind, targeting the increase in climate warming emissions caused by the conflict. It includes emissions from fossil fuels, cement, and steel used in military operations. Spain says it will deliver nearly $946 million in a new military aid to Ukraine and will also buy $117.5 million worth of US military equipment. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announced the package in Madrid during a joint news conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, restoring Europe to strengthen Kyiv's air defense network against Russia's ongoing invasion.
Швидкість машини.
American, Polish, and Romanian troops are now training on the US-made Merops drone defense system, technology designed to destroy kamikaze drones using fast, lightweight interceptor drones. Military officials say the Merops system is far cheaper than the Russian-made Shahid drones used against Ukraine, costing roughly 10 times less per unit. The training program is also quick, taking just 2 weeks for soldiers to become operational. Britain's MI5 has warned lawmakers about Chinese attempts to gather intelligence and influence parliamentary activity. British Security Minister Dan Jarvis has announced a counter-political interference and espionage action plan to protect Parliament from China and other foreign actors. The Chinese embassy in London rejected the claims, calling them pure fabrication and malicious slander, and urged the UK to stop undermining China-UK relations. Beijing says it has lodged formal representation with the British government over the allegations. Peru's President José Jerry says the state of emergency in Lima and the port city of Callao will be extended as authorities struggle to contain rising crime. The measure in place allows the military to support police patrols and suspends some constitutional rights, including the freedom of assembly. Speaking at the opening of a new temporary command center in Callao, Jerry said the extension will help coordinate operations between the armed forces, police, and local security units. Jerry maintains a 58% approval rating, though analysts warn that without clearer results, the emergency could be seen as more symbolic than effective. Thousands of Peruvian miners gathered in Lima for a second day demanding the extension of temporary permits that allow small-scale mining. The Energy and Mines Commission is set to review the comprehensive mining formalization registry, which expires on December 31st. Miners say they need more time to meet requirements and become formalized. Large legal mining companies oppose the extension, arguing the government has enabled illegal mining under the guise of formalization, highlighting tensions between artisanal miners and the industry. The United Nations is calling for the immediate release of more than 20 schoolgirls abducted during an attack on a girls' boarding school in northern Nigeria. UN Deputy Spokesperson has said the incident is a tragic reminder of the urgent need to protect children and schools from violence. The kidnapping happened before dawn on Monday when gunmen scaled the fence at the government girls' comprehensive secondary school. They exchanged fire with police, killed a staff member, and seized the students. Authorities say one girl managed to escape and is now safe, while security forces and local hunters continue searching nearby forests for the others. Residents of Delhi have been battling poor air quality for several days and conditions continue to worsen. In response, the Commission for Air Quality Management has triggered Stage 3 restrictions under the Graded Response Action Plan, which includes tougher curbs on construction and pollution sources. Data from 39 monitoring stations across Delhi shows that 16 locations have slipped into the severe AQI category with readings above 400, posing significant health risks to residents. France's Minister for Ecological Transition has warned that over 75 countries have yet to submit their climate action plans under the Paris Agreement. She stressed that global efforts to cut emissions cannot succeed unless every nation takes part. She added that delays threaten the fight against climate change and could undermine the world's ability to limit global warming. Bolivian President Rodrigo Paz visited the central town devastated by severe flooding, where rescue teams and residents continue to dig through mud in search of the missing people. According to Bolivian media, Paz announced $380,000 in international cooperation for humanitarian aid funding that is separate from the budget allocated to rebuild damaged infrastructure. Firefighters remain on the ground working to rescue residents and locate at least 2 people who are still missing. Google has launched Gemini 3, the latest version of its artificial intelligence model, saying the new capabilities will be immediately integrated into money-making products, including its search engine. Arriving 11 months after Gemini 2, the model leads several major AI performance benchmarks, with CEO Sundar Pichai calling it Google's most intelligent model. Premium subscribers will access Gemini 3 through AI mode, while Google also unveiled Gemini Agent, capable of completing multi-step tasks such as trip bookings and inbox organization. EU regulators have designated 19 major tech companies, including Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, and Microsoft, as critical third-party computing providers under the bloc's new Digital Operational Resilience Act. The rules, in force since January 2025, allow 3 top EU financial watchdogs to directly supervise technology firms that support essential banking and financial services. The move aims to reduce risks from the sector's heavy dependence on cloud and external tech providers, especially the threat posed by large-scale outages. Amazon's self-driving unit Zoox has begun offering free autonomous rides to selected early users in parts of San Francisco. The pilot covers south of Market, the Mission District, and the Design District, as the company works to refine its point-to-point service ahead of a wider rollout. Zoox, with its purpose-built vehicle resembling a toaster oven on wheels, and without any manual controls such as a steering wheel or pedals, began offering free robo-taxi rides to the public and around the Las Vegas Strip in September this year. Asia-Pacific markets traded mixed on Wednesday, shadowing Wall Street's slide as AI valuation concerns continued to pressure tech stock. Japan's Nikkei 225 reversed earlier losses to rise about 0.5%, with the topics up 0.55%. The tech sector initially dragged the index lower. South Korea's Kospi slided, led by declines in Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix. Australia's ASX 200 edged slightly higher, and Hong Kong's Hang Seng and China's CSI 300 posted modest gains. Xiaomi shares fell over 4% after warning of higher smartphone prices next year. Global sentiment remains soft after US indexes extended their losing streaks and Bitcoin briefly dropped below $90,000. Oil prices fell Wednesday after industry data showed a sharp build in US crude and fuel inventories, reinforcing concerns that supply continues to outrun demand. Brent crude dipped to about $64.6 a barrel, while the US WTI slid to nearly $60.50. American Petroleum Institute's figures showed US crude stocks jumped by more than 4 million barrels last week, with gasoline and distillate inventories also rising. Analysts say that the increase signaled weak demand even at Tuesday's gains were supported by new US sanctions on Russian oil and Ukrainian strikes on energy infrastructure. Strong diesel margins are offering some support, but persistent oversupply is keeping investors cautious ahead of official US inventory data later on Wednesday. That's it on this edition of Speed News. News and updates will continue on the other side of the short break. Keep watching WION World.